old&crackadated here, and I did some video about my porch, and I decided to really make a mess of it and put an intro in. About 4 years ago I started a porch. Prices went up, couldn't finish the floor. Prices went down, then I started again, got the floor done, and it's a win. Well, I got to sit on the porch in a chair, pet my dogs, and I'm happy there. That's enough of that. I had more, but I decided to end everybody's pain early. Just enough to let some music be in the video. I think my hands are going to start working a little better. I mean, they are today, but I may do some video to put on with something else later, more music in it. I've got a lot of video shot, but I've got a lot of shot video. I had so many camera malfunctions, it ain't even funny. I had some malfunctions in my porch construction, so you don't get to see much. I mean, you get the gist of what I'm doing and putting in a portable floor. Anytime I need to access the foundation, I just lift the floor up, do my work, set the floor back down. Did that on the back porch with a run between the big deck and the back porch, and sort of like a ramp effect. It goes up about 4 inches. So, but I built a piece to go in between there to replace what was permanent. I put it in temporary where I can just lift it out of the joist brackets and do whatever work I need under there and put it back down, because it's too low to access under there, to access the foundation. But it's just bits and pieces put together, but it'll give you an idea of what it looks like. Old and crackadated. Well, I had battery failure, then I ran out of SD card, so it was a terrible day of shoot. I had a meal cooked there under the gazebo, and then was going to demonstrate the construction progress here, but I went from nothing to 2 sections this finished. And the way I anchor, let me kick my old plumbing stuff out of the way that okay. This is the way I anchor. Now what I did, I dug a hole, poured it full of concrete, and then these are fiberglass and Portland cement anchor blocks. They're lightweight. And what I do, I take a 1/2-inch masonry bit, I drill a hole through the center, mount my anchor bolt with the 4x4 post bracket, and of course, depending on however deep my foundation is, I've got a concrete foundation under that. I go ahead and mount this bracket in there, put the nut on it with the washer, and after I poured my concrete. I let it sit there just a few minutes to start getting a little thicker. Then I set the block down on the concrete I just poured and push the anchor bolt down. Of course, leaving enough up to where I can bolt this in, but it won't stick up too far to interfere with the post. And that way I can anchor my post permanently that way. It's the easiest way in the world to anchor 4x4 post. And of course you can use these to run your joist through if you want to, and anchor them that way. You can use your post anchor turned sideways. You can get an anchor that'll anchor your joist. But that's the easiest way I know of to anchor something permanently. And all of my porch posts I did that way. I started this 4 years ago, and then the pandemic started, and the price of these planks went up to, I don't know, $25 a piece. And that was going to be $25 a foot just for the porch. But here's the way I did this. And you can see the screw holes there. And I've got four joists in there. And they're all anchored at the ends. There's anchor at each end. And this is a 2x6 anchor. And I've got the construction screws that I screwed them in with, but I use this to set the height so it'll be right for putting the 2x6 in there to be flush with the top. And of course here at the end, my joist right there is under there, and I leave off short of that so I don't screw it in. Now the reason for this is a drop-in panel now. If I need to remove it, I can just take a jack and put under the outside joist here, which here's my outside perimeter here, and then I've got that joist that's in a bracket. I just put a jack under there and jack it up. I can lift this whole panel up. I can access my foundation, do whatever I need under there, and drop it back in place. And I've made one measuring mistake in cutting. But I'll saw this off right here and then put a treated 2x4 right here, and then put me a piece of metal over that to keep a chair leg from going in there, because it's right there next to the window. Then I've got to do all my window frames, scrape them and paint them, recaulk the windows. But that's a start to my porch. And then I've got one more section I'll finish here. I've got it full of broken rock and stuff right now. And I've got to get rid of all these broken plumbing pieces. I just don't have a big enough garbage can to throw that stuff in. I use a feed bag to throw that kind of stuff away every week. Just pile it all in it and put it in the garbage can. I don't put anything loose in the can. But anyway, this will extend on up to there. That's just a little short of 5 feet. And it'll be a step down here. I've got to clean up all of this and put my rock back down, and then build a bridge in this gap, because I had a problem with water. It had no place to go, and it was dealing my foundation misery. But I've got 3 2x6s, 12 feet, to do a bridge across this. And then I've got to do my trench right here widen it out so it will be a little smoother. But I had a problem with water puddling up there in front of the tent setup area. And Ridge has started sleeping here. She likes this area right in between those rocks right there. I've got the tarp staked down pretty good where the wind won't blow them away. Got the 1-foot anchors on them. But and I was going to cook a meal in here, and that's when I ran out of battery. I'll reshoot that this afternoon. So that's a little preview of what's going on, and I'll be back to put this together with a little cooking. And what I did, I cooked on my New Wave cooktop. I've had that thing a long time. I bought 4 of them. I bought 2 of the small ones and 2 of the big ones, and then the New Wave oven. And it's the easiest way to cook I've ever seen. Okay, I'll be back after a while. Old and crackadated is still crackadated. Oh, okay, now, on the framing here, I bend these to where they're pretty straight. Now I've got it marked 4 inches from the back side here, and then 24 inches, and then 24 from the outside, and 4 inches in from the outside. And the way I decide where to put it, and I've got to leave it loose enough so if I need to pull the thing out later, because the reason I'm doing this, I can make a platform on these 4 stringers, screwing the boards down to the stringers and not to the framing that's attached permanent. That way, if I need to access the foundation here, I just get over there, put a jack under the stringers I've got in here, jack it up on that corner, pull the thing up, I can raise it back, do whatever work I need to do, drop it back in. I did this on the back porch and it worked great, and you leave it just loose enough where it will slip in and out fairly easy. But I'll put 4 brackets on this side, 4 over there on the other side, and these are 2x6 hanger brackets. Got these at Home Depot because ones at Lowe's are not good. But now there's a building supply place here in Alabama called Marvin's. They've got a much better hanging bracket because their brackets have got screws that you can anchor in, like back here on the back. You can screw screws in there and fix this to those brackets because they've got better mounting holes here with straight in drills. These are made for toenailing with nails, which I never understood why they want to do that. But I'll shut this off and go ahead and hang the brackets and get my joist cut for my little stringers here. Then get some planks cut and show you how this operates. Well, I'll go ahead and show the way these work. See, they're just in there loose. And then when I screw the planks down, I put one here and screw it to the permanent joist. Then I'll start right next to that and screw them down to these that can be removed. Found that to be a pretty good way to do it. Works out good. Or as the commercial always said, turned out good. But I'm tired. I've been working hard today, and I think the best thing for me to do is call it a day and pick up again tomorrow with the flooring, because I've got to saw the planks in half. I got to have them 72 1/4, because the planks when they come out of the factory are 73 inches. 12 feet 1 inch, or 12.5 feet. And they have to be cut in half, that way they come out right here where they should. Then a 2x4 will go, treated 2x4 will go behind that, and I can put a little piece of trim on that 2x4, which will fit flush down on these. Make it look a little better across the back. Old and crackadated is going to call it a day, but I'll pick up again tomorrow. I was going to try to upload this tonight, but I ain't going to get there from here. Well, I went ahead and started screwing them down. I've got 4 planks in so far, but I think I'm going to call it a day. And the kind of screws, I should have gone back and bought more there, called Saber by Midwest Fasteners. But that right there is worth the difference in the price, because when you go screw one in, if you hit a cross grain, it'll just drill right on through it. This junk right here, Deckmate, they just, when you go in, if it hits a grain, it'll start sideways. They're real hard to keep straight, but it's well worth the difference in the price to go ahead and get that Saber by Midwest Fasteners. It's the best deck screws I've found. And you pay a little bit more for them, but not that much more. But Old and Crackadated is cracking the whip. I decided to go ahead and cut my planks get them out where they'll air out, and if they're going to get a curve to them, it'll be because of the moisture in them. And the way if you got a curve in one like that, you'll lay where the bow is up on it. When that dries, it will straighten the plank. I've straightened a lot of crooked lumber that way. But what it is, the moisture, and it was these were on the bottom of the stack, and they were drying out on the bottom, which when I picked the things up, it had a big bow in it. But by morning, this may be straight because it'll dry out on top. That's just a tip from old and crackadated, years of experience. Well, if it can, it will, and it probably already has. Oh, don't remember how far I got with filming yesterday when everything, my battery ran so low I had to recharge it. But I've got 4 planks on my framing. I'll go ahead and finish it the rest of the way across, and then I'm going to try and demonstrate how to lift these panels up and get underneath them. Show how easy it is. Well, let me go ahead and get the rest of that done, because it's probably going to take me a couple of hours. I'm so tired. I'm going to attempt to show you how I'll lift that thing out, but I'm not going to take it all the way out because I've got terrible problems with my back and my leg today. But you see, it comes right on up, and I can take it all the way out and just drop it right back in. It's all the way back down now. And that's the way that works. Oh, what a noise. Yeah, I'm just in too bad a shape to be able to lift it out today. Oh, I've got too many aches and pains. But I thought I'd just show you that's the way it lifts out, and I could have raised it on up and propped it up with something, but I don't have enough of me left today. Well, old and crackadated, if it can, it will, and it most likely has several times today.